"I love Hitler" is something a spy should never say. But Michael Bettaney, the first on this list of the dumbest spies ever, was a huge fanboy of his and could be found dropping his Nazi mixtape at the local pub every night while slamming down beers, instead of slamming his wife. Somehow, this guy still managed to get a job at MI5, where he continued to proclaim his love for all things Hitler. So how exactly did this drunk get a job where Bond used to work? Simple, really. In the 70s, Britain was putting pressure to hire more working class folk. And these people weren't the posh Downton Abbey or Bridgerton folks you see on Netflix. Nah, they were more like Jeremy Clarkson. Drunk, English, idiots. Just another form of DEI. Anyways, Michael Bettaney was the epitome of all these things. He once tried to dodge a ticket on the train while drunk, and when the cops chased him down, he said, "You can't arrest me, I'm a spy." Yes, he was, and MI5 saw something in this young whippersnapper because they promoted him to the highly secretive, sensitive, counter-Soviet division where his double agent life began. When he started, he allegedly bragged to his coworkers about how easy it would be to betray Britain. And he was right. It was easy. Michael immediately went to work, taking classified documents and shoving them down the mailbox of the Soviet embassy, right in the open. No disguises, no secret drops, no code words, no nothing. And if you've seen any spy movies, that's not how this shit is done. He even forgot to ask for money, which just spurred Russian suspicion about his dubious package even more. The Russians thought it was a poor attempt at installing a spy, cause no way MI5 would hire such an idiot, right? Joke's on them. Anyways, MI5 realized there was a spy and began the search, but they glossed right over Michael, because what spy in the right mind would be saying, "Boy, I sure do love me my Hitler." So he continued stealing more documents, and when he was good and ready, he called the Soviets to make the trade. It was gonna go down in Vienna. He applied for his PTO, and his bosses, happy to be rid of his Nazi-loving ass, granted it. A day before he was set to meet the Russians, the KGB called MI5 and was like, "We know you sent this spy. Why would you insult us like this, sending this piss-poor double agent into our organization? How stupid do you think we are?" So Michael Betnazi was a spy all along? No. Yeah. So that's how they caught him. And he died of alcohol poisoning. Better than falling out a window, I guess. But if you really think about it, it's MI5 who were the incompetent ones. But want to know who's worse? The Germans in the 40s. This is Werner Von Janowski, a German spy sent to Canada. He was dropped off by submarine in Quebec. And for those of you who don't know, Quebec is the Canadian province who still thinks they're part of France. Anyways, Werner arrived and immediately the locals noticed some things. When he washed up ashore, he told the locals he arrived by bus. There were no buses that day. And why is he at a beach? The dude also smelled like canned tuna, kinda like if he's been sealed in a metal tube for days. Anyways, we all know how much the Germans like to pump gas, right? But despite this, Janowski was a smoker, and the locals took notice. Not because he was killing his lungs, but because he lit his cigarettes with Belgium-branded matches. Which was weird, because Belgium had been under fascist rule for more than 2 whole years already. People didn't seem to mind his smell, his smoking, or his obvious German accent. That is, until he paid them with outdated, obsolete Canadian currency that was fucking more than 30 years old. Yeah, so they snitched on him. Once he left the hotel, the local police officer asked him for ID. He caved so quick, and I mean quick, as quick as I was during my pre-adolescent years. "ID, please." "I'm caught! I am a German officer. Take me away, boys." He was in Canada for less than 12 hours. With a spy like these, no wonder this kid had anger problems. Adolf Tolkachev, a Soviet radar engineer turned CIA spy in the 70s. You would think that as an engineer, he would have developed some crazy decoding device, or at least invisible ink to pass his information along, right? But nah. His method of choice? Running around Moscow looking for American ambassadors' cars while screaming Soviet secrets. This was during the Cold War too, when everybody was under surveillance by the KGB. Adolf would legit look for diplomatic plates and leave handwritten notes there. "Do you want to be my friend?" So the CIA just thought he was another shitty double agent. But after 5 or 6 attempts of Adolf pounding on the CIA door, they relented and gave him a chance to talk. They didn't want to hurt his feelings or something, but turns out he gave them some pretty useful info. Now I don't know what that he gave them, but apparently it saved the CIA billions of dollars, so they dubbed him the billion-dollar spy.
Doesn't mean shit.
If Elon Musk has taught us anything, it's that you can be both brilliant and an idiot. Anyways, Adolf continued not using CIA methods for his spy work. In fact, he didn't use any methods at all. The guy preferred in-person meetings, as he, quote, enjoyed the company with the agents. During their meetings, the CIA would give him Medicare or whatever bullshit version they had back then, and when he left with meds and a routine checkup. This was done wide in the open for all to see. The Russian newspaper even wrote about it. How the CIA showed such a great deal of care for Adolf, and the way that they treated him was so touching. I mean, it's amazing how much he accomplished and that the KGB didn't catch him sooner, but they were probably thinking, no one's that dumb, right? Wrong. Next is Aldrich Ames. He was a CIA agent that got hired despite being a drunk, bicycle-stealing, lazy bum. He was a broke piece of shit and needed some money, so he decided to sell secrets to the Soviets. Aldrich would steal secrets, mosey down to the Soviet embassy, have some coffee with them, and walk out with 50 grand in cash. The dude made $4 million. Most people would hide their money, but not Aldrich. He started to come into work decked out in Gucci, Chanel, and Supreme. He bought a new Jag, a house, all in cash, and flaunted how rich he was to his coworkers. The CIA. The dude only made $60,000 a year, and despite all this flaunting, the CIA took 9 fucking years to catch him. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.